Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm MrMatera, and this channel is all about finding joy in the journey, both in the classroom as well as out of the classroom. So I hope you can come along for this journey and that we can journey together. In this particular video, this one is my 12th 1-month goal challenge wrap-up video. That's right, we finished all 12 for the year. We did it, I can't believe it. This one happens to be about taking a class on the website MasterClass, and I'm gonna kind of with fidelity take that class, and this video is gonna be about that. On MasterClass, there are so many courses you could take. I thought it would be important to choose one that is about enhancing a goal or a passion of mine. You see, all my previous goals, every single one of them, were learning a new skill or developing a new habit, building something in that I had never done before. None of them, though, none of them were about sort of polishing up, honing a skill that I already have and taking it up a notch. And I thought before I end this series, I have to choose a goal like that because that's important to do as well. You know, we can go 0 to 60 pretty fast in something that we didn't know anything about. It's hard to sort of labor on the goal that you already are good at, because you're talking about sort of micro efficiencies. You're talking about tiny gains for usually a large input. And I thought it was going to be important to sort of dive into that. So I decided to take a masterclass on cooking. While there are so many great things on masterclass to sort of take and learn from, I just chose cooking because it is an absolute passion of mine. I love the process of cooking. I love getting the ingredients, shopping for it, all of it. So I thought, let's learn about cooking on MasterClass. And when I first clicked the selection of courses in MasterClass, it was unbelievable how many great classes they have. From Alice Waters' cooking with local and seasonal ingredients, to Massimo Bottura, a favorite of mine for cooking, and his passion that he has of infusing something old, like a tradition, with something new. And he really does take those traditional Italian dishes and radically sort of changes them, but you see where they came from. That history within the cooking is unbelievable. But I decided to land on somebody completely different. I chose Aaron Franklin's barbecue, teaches Texas style barbecue, because why not? It's summer here in Wisconsin. I have time to learn how to cook the meats, guys. For those of you that have been with me on all of my 1-month goals, you know that this is going to be a far cry from the one where I was a vegetarian for a month. Because this month I'm going to learn how to cook pork shoulder. I learned how to cook ribs, steak, and kind of the piece de resistance, the Texas brisket. And it was a fantastic goal. I definitely learned a ton in here, and I really dug Aaron's style. Aaron's classes had 16 lessons and a great cookbook field guide for when you're in the midst of cooking. He had an awesome style about him. I really liked his laid-back nature. He really instilled sort of a sense of confidence that I could do this. And that was so important because I haven't really done a lot of these things yet on the smoker, so it was kind of fun to really like have him by my side, guide me through it all. To get started, I had to make sure I had enough time to watch the videos and smoke the meat. And so the first 2 videos was 1, an introduction, and 2, how to tend to the fire, which wasn't as valuable to me because the way my smoker works, it sort of auto feeds the fire. But it was so neat to see his passion for the flame, his passion for what smoke does to meat. And his introduction video also was a great way to get to know him and understand your instructor. And it kind of put me at ease for the rest of the series, and something that I kind of want to remember in my classroom, that it's important to sort of build in that time to share who you are and why this is passionate for you, because it can kind of suck in other people. So that was something that I kind of wanted to think through a little bit for my classroom. But right after that, we got to the 3rd video in the series, and this one was about smoking pork shoulder, which is one of my absolute favorites to cook already. And I was like, no way is he gonna be able to sort of top my pork shoulder. Guys, I gotta tell you, I was wrong. Aaron's pork shoulder was amazing, and I'm definitely going to be using this recipe again in the future. It was easy to do and super delicious. All in all, guys, the classes were easy to follow along. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was plenty of times where I would watch, pause, make, repeat. That became my mantra for this month as I took these classes. What I chose to do sort of to get familiar with the course, I would always watch a full session just on my couch, get the full idea where this is going. And most of the videos are like 15 minutes long, I would say is the average. And so I'd kind of watch it in its entirety. And then jot down the things I'm gonna need to do, jot down the things I'm gonna need to buy at the store. And then again, when I was making it, I would do that whole mantra of watch, pause, make, watch, pause, make. And it was really awesome to have him at my side at kind of every step of the way, and having that pre-vision by watching the full episode and then go back and do that mantra really, really helped throughout the whole process. And Aaron made it super simple. I learned a ton about how to flavor meat, how to trim the meat, and let go of these little bits and pieces that sometimes feel like a waste to sort of cut and throw out, but really upped the finished product's look and taste. The ribs, for example, were fantastic. I love this recipe, and I will be making these mouth-watering ribs again for sure. But the big one, the big kahuna here, was the brisket. This was $70 worth of meat that I was about to throw on this grill, and I trimmed it, and I trimmed it, and trimmed it, and trimmed it. I put on the rub. It was ready to go. And for this particular brisket, guys, well, probably for all briskets, I was super nervous because I have done brisket once before, like probably 2 years ago, and it failed, and it was dry and gross. And so now I got this $70 investment. I'm trimming away a ton of it. So you're kind of like, oof, I'm throwing away a lot of money here. But following his recipe, following his steps, I was able to make this brisket. And this brisket had some requirements around it. I had to get up at 3 in the morning to sort of get the fire started and put this thing on. And then I had to tend to it every hour on the hour, kind of like putting a little apple cider vinegar kind of on top, it spritzing it and making sure the temperature's just right. This process taught me two sort of valuable things. One, it taught me some patience, right? Because you have to sort of let it take time. There is no speeding up. There is no Instapot here. It is about developing robust flavors through time with the marinade, time with the seasoning, time on the grill, time off the grill. Then there is no cheat to that. It's about taking that time to do it right. So it definitely taught me a little bit about patience. And then it also taught me a little bit, it tested my resolve, if you will. How much do I really want this goal? Am I gonna be willing to get up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning to sort of put this thing on? Am I gonna tend it throughout the day? It's gonna definitely make me tired the next day. Do I really want to finish this goal? And with these 1 month goals, for sure, I definitely am locked into finishing them. But it was really neat to sort of see that you can do these things. When your resolve gets tested, hold to it, and you're gonna have kind of an awesome day. It was kind of fun to build it up as brisket day, time to get out there and get up early, make sure it's all done. I was sort of nervous the day before. I wanted to make sure everything was just right, and it ultimately turned out fantastic. Throughout this entire month, I definitely told my friends and family, my neighbor, that they're gonna be getting sort of some meat passed down to them, because no way could I make all these things in the month if I actually had to eat all the leftovers. There's no way I would get through this course. So if you choose to take Aaron's Franklin Barbecue's Texas style course, recognize that you're probably going to want to do it at a slower pace than I did, but it was a fantastic ride through this course to learn these things and to still do one of my passions, one of my loves, to cook for people and sort of give this away and hear their sort of take on it. My neighbor absolutely loved the ribs. It was kind of funny. I saw him pull in right as I was like taking them and cutting them up in my kitchen, and I ran outside and said, "Hey, you want some?" And I didn't even get out what I was going to offer him, and he's like, "Yes." And I gave him the ribs. He absolutely loved them. It was so fun to sort of make other people's days through this, but ultimately the goal was fantastic. I loved learning through the course and reminding myself what it's like to be a student and kind of go from the not knowing and that fear, and also that fear of something I do know a little bit about, right? You know, we talk sometimes in our classrooms about kids who are already like that A student or A plus student or A minus student or whatever, or B plus student. And sometimes they're afraid of a challenge because they don't want to like test whether they truly are an A student, right? They would rather learn a new skill where they're at 0 and like show that, hey, see, I'm pretty good. But again, honing that skill is a different challenge, and you have to approach it with a different mindset. And I definitely learned through this process that it's so worth it to take something you know, something you love, and polish it up and think about ways to sort of take it up one more step. And it's something I'm going to definitely be doing more throughout this year. All right, guys, that's it. That ends my 12th goal here of the 1 month goal series. If this is new to you, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, check the playlist that's gonna appear afterwards so that you can see some of the other 1 month goals. I would really love for you to check out those goals, see if there's something you want to do. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for coming, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. I have to give Jennifer Knox a shout out for giving me this card and these Franklin barbecue trays that they use at the restaurant in Austin. Such an awesome and thoughtful gift, and thank you so much for the kind words and the support throughout this entire process. It really, really does encourage me to continue to keep on going.